Hey everyone, welcome back to another Final Fantasy video. I think this is actually one of my first Final Fantasy 16 videos onto this channel, but for those who don't know, I am sort of familiar with the Final Fantasy franchise, considering I am a fan of a few titles, and as someone who's actually trying to be more into the franchise, I'm very excited to be into 16, considering how Devil May Cry is one of my also all-time favorite franchises to play, because it's literally a whole action-packed game, and apparently one of the main combat designers of Devil May Cry 5, which is one of my favorite games of all time, again, you know, I keep saying that, but like, these games honestly mean a lot to me, so having the main combat designer be on board with the Final Fantasy 16 development is honestly a win for me. And I just honestly want to break this whole trailer down with you and talk about certain things and what potentially could be in the game. This is sort of also a discussion video, but also I'm not going to really quite talk about the story, because every Final Fantasy game is different to their own, and honestly I don't want to spoil that for myself. But we're going to talk about its gameplay, and I may make some comparisons with Devil May Cry or any sort of action game. I'll try not to really do that, considering not everyone is very familiar with how DMC is played like, or how other games are played like. I'm doing my best to just talk about its gameplay overall, and I may talk about a little bit of story, but again, it's just very surface level. I'm not going to go in depth, but let's play it with the Dominance trailer. They start out with the super Final Fantasy-esque dialogue and on here. So already it seems that now it's already revealed in the official website over here that icons, and if you guys don't know what icons are basically the summons within Final Fantasy, which are the mythical beings, you could say, that are in this world. And it was confirmed here, icons and their dominance. Icons are the most powerful and deadly creatures, and they reside within a dominant, which is the person, single man or woman, who is blessed with the ability to call upon their dread power. And you see it right here, right in the beginning of the trailer. And you see, this is Garuda right here, and she's, I guess, doing some sort of transformation, unleashing some sort of power. And we're gonna keep playing. Yep, there's Garuda. Ifrit. Let's get into the gameplay, shall we? Because again, that's what y'all are all here for. And when it comes to, sorry that this wasn't on full screen. This is our first look into the gameplay of this trailer. It seems that there's going to be choreographed scenes within these fights. So if you're familiar with Kingdom Hearts 2, if you're familiar with Final Fantasy VII Remake, many of their fights have certain choreographed scenes in them after doing certain actions, or depending on the enemy's health. But here it seems that there's going to be a choreographed scene right beginning of the fight, initiating the fight. And I love choreographed scenes before entering a fight, because it gets the whole fight hyped up for me personally, and it's also, it makes more of the game engaging to the eyes of how very cool Square Enix does their choreographed scenes, because I really, it's a really enjoyable experience to have, and then just getting right into battle, it's just so cool. And then it seems that we're gonna initiate the gameplay right after this frame. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna talk about, like, there's a lot to dissect within here. Sorry that the YouTube UI is kind of covering up, but there's a lot to dissect in here, because already the amount of gameplay is shown is very in depth. Let's let this play out. There you go. So within that first clip, let's actually play that in slow motion, shall we? Alright, so playing this in slow motion. precision dodge. So there's you could do perfect dodges, and then to a counter, so a burst shot, and then a lunge, which is like a stinger here. Icon power, that is obviously the Phoenix that Cleave is using. Will break to iconic strike. That's what they're probably talking about. It does have it's very DMC-esque of how they tell you what sort of moves you are doing, and that will build up, I don't know, apparently maybe certain points or maybe certain damage you could do to the opponents. We'll just have to see later on throughout the video. We'll rewind that one more time. So apparently there is the perfect dodge is activated. It's very Bayonetta like, actually, of how Cleave is the way he dodged. He does a precision dodge. There's like a ×3 on that. Now there's like no score or anything, because with how DMC works, when you do certain moves, your ranking builds up for like a better score by the end of the level. But I don't know how the level design will be in 16, so I'm not gonna quite comment on that, just to clarify things. But again, sorry things are blurry for some reason. This frame it's a blurry shot, but here's the precision dodge, which will turn into a counter attack, which lunges straight towards the enemy, and then you could do another lunge attack, which gets you could be on the aggressive side of things, which is great. Yeah, see too, like a stinger, and then burst shot, lunge, burst shot. Look at that. Oops. See, counter, burst shot, then lunge, and then another, it's like a bigger burst shot. He did like a small burst shot, and then lunge, and there's like a bigger one. So that's a really good finisher. This is a very familiar attack that I know of, the sort of the uppercut, or you could say maybe like an uppercut grab or uppercut knockout, you could say, on here, because this is literally one of the movesets from DMC5 and DMC4. So it's interesting how now it's being applied to this game, and it's one of the most useful attacks to do in DMC, because it creates an opener for or juggles, or just more combos in general. So again, using this power and using the icons as one of your combos is amazing. And then as you see in the right side of here, within the UI, there is Rising Flame, Scarlet, Cyclone, Phoenix Shift, and Jump. It seems that these are the skills that one of the skill sets for the icons of what you can activate. And then in the left side here is the typical UI stuff of your items, similar to how any JRPG is, like any action JRPG or just any RPG game you personally played. This is just the utilities for here: potion, high potion, straight tonic, which is probably a strength buff. But that looks extremely nasty. I love it. It seems that this is actually just a bigger... I mean, seeing as obviously we're seeing stuff in slow motion, but it seems that I don't know if you're able to cancel the animation and be able to lunge to the enemy quickly, but hopefully that's the thing, because it seems that you're kind of stuck in this whole animation after doing that uppercut. Fantastic regardless. Big damage. So there is just a lot to dissect within this clip. There's even more technical things to cover up, so let's get right into it. So here it's showcasing how much air combos there is, and as you see here, it actually shows the icons being utilized and switching, and the constant use of the skills in the bottom right corner here, where my cursor is at. And if you pay attention, as you see, he is in his normal. This is his normal form where you're able to use magic, because there's arrow here, deadly embrace. I have no clue what that is, and it has the jump. and then attack. I guess attack is square in the game. This is what I assume. Arrows triangle, attack is square, jump is X, and then a deadly embrace, whatever that skill is circle. So here it shows that there's constant switching, and if you look at the top right, it shows the icons here. This is Garuda. I think. I don't know if this is Ramu, but obviously this one is Phoenix the bird over here. And it seems that this is going to be switched off, and once this is switched off or activated, when you press L2, it's going to show up in your HUD over here in the bottom right. So let's take a look at that. So he activated it, and now this goes into play. I don't know how it was activated, but the skills are here. He used Wicked Wheel. Oh no, he used Deadly Embrace for here, and then for the first move, and then he starts to utilize the other attacks. As you see, Garuda is coming out of our main protagonist, and the constant use of skills will be activated. Man, these combos are crazy. Oh, and then he switched. Switch to, see, Iconic Strike, use Garuda for the air, for starting the air combo, and then moving on to the second move set on here, switches to another one, another icon. Here, let me just replay for you guys one more time so you can see the switch. Switch, using a different move set, and then to the finisher. Bam, with the slam. Oh man, that's crazy. The tricks and combos you could do, it's gonna be amazing. So it seems that this is maybe Odin. It could be Odin from what I assume, considering the thunder and stuff. Or no, it could be Titan. It could be Titan. But again, not completely sure. I apologize. But let's look at that one more time in slow motion because of how beautiful this game looks. Every frame by frame of this air combo. Using Garuda, switching to Titan. He's just in the air for a long time doing all these combos. And then bam, with the overkill, and does a AoE. Does AoE damage and damaging literally everybody here. Okay, here. Oh, now this is Odin. Okay, so this is the Odin icon. Odin has also a special bar. Like, it seems that there's some sort of inspiration from Final Fantasy XIV as well, considering Yoshi P is the producer also from FF14, and his team is sort of, I guess, or maybe like another division within his team is creating FF16. It seems that there's inspiration happening from FF14 because there's a lot of meters involving, or just any particular Final Fantasy game, you could say, when it comes to their combat, and now it's being applied to their live action gameplay. And it seems that whatever you do to, it seems that certain movesets will build up Odin's bar and probably unleash a great attack for that. But yeah, we'll look into it more. Let's just see. And also here, let me note that there's an attack, and then there's probably a dark attack, and an arm of darkness, which is from Odin. I think this is the Odin icon symbol here. It seems like, but let's just look into it more. The stagger system is back, known as also the takedown, and yeah, the stagger system from FF14 and also FF7R and also from FF15. It seems that they kept that system within their games, and now it's being applied on here, which is good. Like, this is basically gonna be it's still gonna feel like a very Final Fantasy-esque game, but definitely it has that DMC that DMC taste to this, you know? I love it. So it seems that this is a ability, iconic punishment. So this is I guess this will be, I guess the punishment mechanic will happen when you use iconic moves towards staggered enemies. And it seems that he's using a skill called Gungnir. Hopefully I pronounced that right. And it's a lance ability combo that you're just consistently doing. Again, very beautiful. Yep, this dude is just mashing square. So it seems that on here it shows that, yeah, like, because this Gungnir is kind of having this beat to it. It seems that the player is mashing square to activate this move. Yeah, see, as you see the mash on here. So yeah, so it seems that this is square, triangle, circle, and X. So we sort of know the controls. And as you see here, the Odin bar is going up. I wonder if he's gonna use it. Let's see. Nope, and then it just quickly goes on to the scene. Alright, so let's watch that whole entire thing one more time to see if we could see anything. Oh yeah, the enemy used Poison Mist. Also, it has the UI from any other Final Fantasy game that you see above their head over here. Of FF7R did the same thing of adding this certain UI of knowing what, you know, even if it tells you what move they're gonna do in a live action gameplay, it's still gonna give that Final Fantasy approach where you still have to do things very tactically. Yeah, take down, lunge, stagger. So it seems that I wonder what the Odin move does. On what it kind of does. Oh man, honestly, I know a lot of people hate the UI, but I really love the UI because it really reminds me of it's very 2000s like, and I really do like it a lot, but some people just don't, but I really do. Man, that looks just so cool seeing it frame by frame. Alright, on to the next scene. Okay, so we're here with a boss fight, and this is just like a normal boss. Not anything necessarily special about this boss, to be honest with you. Oh, Diamond Dust. So Diamond Dust is okay. The reason why I know Diamond Dust so much is because it's one of the main drive forms you use in Kingdom Hearts. I am a big Kingdom Hearts fan. Kingdom Hearts first over Final Fantasy, personally, for me. And Diamond Dust is one of the most good drives to use, good forms to use in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. So it's nice we're gonna see this here, and it's being applied on here. And it seems that it froze the enemy. Yeah, it completely froze the enemy by, I don't know if it did a counter or like some sort of charge attack. We'll have to see. Also, by the way, it seems that Cleve and Garuda are the Garuda is probably the love interest for the main protagonist of this game. I don't know why I pointed out, but hey, it's literally the scene there. Yeah, so it seems that it did like some sort of charge attack from what we saw, and it completely froze this enemy. This is actually just a regular enemy in Final Fantasy, by the way. I don't know how to pronounce it. That's why I'm not bothered saying its name. Wow, that's cool. You could actually freeze bosses like that. That is crazy, and that's with the Shiva. That is with the Shiva icon moveset, because Shiva's right on here. Also, by the way, it's interesting that we have 3 gauges here. I haven't seen it necessarily been used when utilizing the icons, so I wonder what's that for exactly. It's interesting. Yeah, because he's using Odin's movesets here, but the gauge is not being utilized. So yeah, let's look back to the other one to see. Oh yeah, wait, no, it's not even been used on the first clip. Those 3 gauges are not even on there. Oh, to a slam. Oh yeah, you know what I forgot? Let's actually play the clip. I'm sorry, I'm just like dissecting this whole combat in in this game. So let's actually watch this whole clip and then we'll dissect it. My apologies. That could have looked like a counter though too. Could be a charge attack or counter. Ooh, ooh, nasty. Let's play that with sound actually.
Order to see us on end. I unite the dominants, that we may bring an end to the strife. and found a new order to see us unto tomorrow.
So, yep, I love it. We're gonna talk about a lot for with this just particular clip. So Diamond Dust, I don't know how that was actually activated, but what I noticed here, if we go onto the first frame of that fight, sorry, we keep seeing this scene. There's Blizzard, Attack, Cold Snap, and Jump. Now maybe that's how you actually activate these certain if you want to have these certain icon movements, is simply pressing circle to activate it, because we did see in the previous clips of Odin is on here, and I think maybe Phoenix or whoever, and now we see Shiva on the circle button, which is interesting. I wonder if that actually triggers this whole thing, the Diamond Dust attack. Again, I don't know how Diamond Dust was actually triggered. They don't necessarily show, because it doesn't show any sort of charge or some sort of gauge being used. So I just assume that there was some sort of combo you may have to do, or moveset you had to do to activate it. But again, I love how the icons are being utilized a lot, and how they're sort of the main thing in this game. They're one of the most important characters, so I really do like that a lot. Again, here, oh yeah, it also makes me wonder also if you probably have different movesets in a separate menu and UI, where you have all these constant abilities you could use, passive abilities that you could use as your normal movesets. That's probably a thing to this game, because I mean, over here, this is, even though he's using Garuda or has Garuda ready, he is not using any sort of Garuda moves. So I assume, oh wow, Gambit counter. I guess Gambit counter is a counter within the air. But yeah, I assume we have passive movesets, abilities that will enhance even the normal gameplay without using the icons. Yeah, I did not even see... I guess the counter was activated before he went into the air. That could be a thing as well. Because with counters, you immediately lunge at the enemy in this game. That's what it seems like. Wow, did all those combos for this much damage though? No, this is all probably for, again, just the showcase, but great. That is awesome. And then Deadly Chain. So it seems that you chain onto the enemies, and then you sling right onto them. Oh no, yeah. You pull them, swing right on, do a little stab, and then does like a little takedown. Oh, now you do a stab. Yeah, there's a lot of aggressive movement towards going towards like these enemies. So you have apparently a chain attack. You could do a chain attack which grapples onto them. You pull them down, and then you could teleport like Noctis and just keep doing more deadly takedowns. Yep, like look, that's very FF15 versus 13 like. Teleporting it, that looks sweet. That looks very cool. And this is he's not even using the well, actually, for some reason he switched. So maybe the icons do give, maybe I'm just overthinking, but maybe the icons do give you some sort of passive abilities and movesets. I have no idea. Like, or maybe he just switched for the hell of it. But with the teleportation of being more aggro and being more up in front towards your enemies, I do like that. That was a problem with me in certain action games where you don't have any sort of abilities that kind of close the gap between you and the enemy. So having this sort of mechanic towards the game is very important in action games. It should really be utilized more, so you could be up and personal with the enemy, because there's certain action games that don't utilize this certain closure, or this having a closing gap with the enemy. So as I was editing of what you guys literally just saw, within this segment, I noticed a few things, and here's what I'm pointing out. Now with Shiva, in order to probably have Diamond Dust, that's probably just a maybe just the style name of the attack. But in order to have Diamond Dust to show up on here, it seemed that it was some sort of counter. That's what I assumed. That's why I theorized. Like, I assume that, but I could be completely wrong. I'm still unsure how it really is like, but it seems that it's either some sort of charge attack or counter. The video, they don't really show how the move actually activates for itself, other than it just immediately happens. The player could have potentially pressed Cold Snap and it activates some sort of counter or special move that made this whole boss freeze, but I sort of doubt it, considering how very special this move is. Because considering you're able to freeze a whole entire boss, I don't think that's the case, but I could be completely wrong. But that's what I theorized so far. But here, this is a very interesting one. So I said literally in the last clip that the icons could potentially give us movesets, passive movesets, or abilities, and it seems that's actually the case, because literally in the last clip I sound so confused, and here I am. Let me correct myself. So as we slow down the clip, let's play in fast pace. This is the counter of Garuda, and then the reason why he switched to Phoenix is to do this follow-up icon strike. But let's slow it down so you guys have more proof on, so you guys won't literally think I'm crazy out here. The reason why I say this is Garuda is because there's actually a claw hitting this. It's hard to see it when it's in motion because it's moving extremely fast, but the claw is hitting the boss. And as you see here, this is the same claw that we saw over here when we initially saw the first air combo in the trailer. And it seems that Garuda is mainly used to utilize for your air combos against these enemies. That's what I noticed, because Garuda's utilized a lot, consistently doing air combos for you, helping you stay in the air longer and do these awesome attacks. And then you switch off and you're able to do another follow-up strike with another icon, which is here displaying the Titan's power with a big slam to the ground. Look at that. So the same concept applies here when it does the Gambit counter. Now I don't know again how to counter initiate, because they cut off the clips so fast and so short, where we're just seeing so much action in 1 second. But yes, this is Garuda, and still Garuda. It seems that the chain is a Garuda move as well, maybe. I'm not completely sure, because I mean, it has the green particle effect still when activating. That's what I noticed as well when we are utilizing these icon powers, is that it seems that they have these passive movesets or abilities, and when that's activated, we see these particle effects of their color. So right now we see like a grayish green tint on these particle effects, and from that chain attack it's still green. And here the deadly takedown and and deadly chain, sort of, I mean the deadly chain is blue, but Gambit counter and deadly takedown is green. So I assume it's a Garuda passive moveset that you could use in normal battle. And it's actually the same. They're treating the icons as the same combat mechanic of what DMC 3 to 5 has been doing for quite some time, which is the fighting styles, or the battling styles, or combat styles within the game. For example, in DMC 3 to 5, Dante, the main protagonist of the Devil May Cry series, he has 4 styles of gameplay, which is Gunslinger, Trickster, Royal Guard, and Gunslinger. Completely different play styles, and it changes up the gameplay immediately. And it seems that, and you're able to change the playstyle is literally on the go. And it seems that FF16 is actually doing something very, very similar, where you're using these icons as combat styles as you're doing your combat, and you're able to switch on the go, which is very similar to how DMC is, where you're every time you switch a style, it'll help benefit you to do these follow-up attacks, which means there's gonna be so much variations of combos you're able to do, just like Devil May Cry. See, as he finishes here, let me replay it again one more time. As this person does the counter and does the chain attack, he immediately follows up with the Phoenix over here. Switches literally right after. Damn, does a whole follow-up attack. Does like a warp strike as well. It doesn't necessarily say like the name of the move, but this is definitely like an icon strike right here coming from Phoenix, especially how you see the flame hitting the boss. And over here it's about to say strike. Oh, it blurs out. It says it's about to say like iconic strike or whatever, but like I think this pretty much confirms that these icons definitely give you passive abilities in playstyles where it changes up your gameplay as a whole. It's not just them utilizing these skills that will be shown off. Like let me show a clip. Like it will be shown off. They're not just used for these skills on your for your certain button placements. It's also overall mechanically for your combat. Again, it's very DMC like, I guess. I mean, you have the whole combat designer from DMC5 creating or helping create this game. So that's what I just wanted to say for this segment.
If I take the field,
There's just more story.
you will shake the island to its foundation.
So it seems that he's one of the bosses here from what I've just saw. It seems that this is him. Hugo. That may be him. And he possesses the Titan. It seems that this is the Titan. He's the dominant for the Titan. It seems like that. I mean, he seems like the type of guy who would have the power of the Titan. And it seems that throughout the game, every time we're going to be fighting a boss or potentially a dominant, we're going to have their sort of power. Yeah, see, yeah, that was him in that shot. Sorry. Yeah, that's him. That's his bald head. Man, he has full-on Titan armor. That's crazy. And more choreographed scenes on here. Now, this is interesting. It shows the MP gauge on here and no longer the drive gauge. I don't know why it's all of a sudden showing there. Let's continue on. Okay, so I guess that was pretty much it when it comes to the actual gameplay mechanics for FF16. Here they just showcase the summon fights, but there's not actual gameplay for it. I mean, yes, this is all in game, but what I mean by that is that it doesn't show like the player actually controlling, because these are all in-game scenes or choreographed scenes within the fight. Now, what I assume is that this all happens. All these attacks either happen. Here are my two theories of how they may approach this. So this is actually the proper way to get your powers, that you actually have to fight these summons by using your summon. Or these are simply finishers that they're showcasing within these fights that you could do towards the summons. But what I really think is that if you want the actual power of these icons, you have to actually fight them. That may be a thing. Or it could be within the boss fight, as we saw here against Hugo. Oh, where is Hugo? Against Hugo, maybe Hugo has like this final phase where he actually turns into the Titan and then we fight them. Because I mean, as we see here, we're literally fighting all the Titans here. I mean, all the icons. See, Ifrit. Oh, that was question mark. I don't want to spoil for that for anyone. Garuda.
There will be losses.
But this looks so cool. I like how the icons are actually important in this game.
Another can be bred. For every home that burns, another can be built. The Empire will live on.
Also, notice how when they said Phoenix, they put it to the boy here. One of the boys that we saw in the first trailer. They're gonna do that for Garuda as well, showing her off. So it's cool that they're showing the revealed characters that we kind of know from the first trailer or within this trailer as the dominants. They sort of just not saying spoiled, but they revealed that to us. And for those who are actually know the lore, hey, go crazy on that. I don't want to personally know, but there you have it. The boy has the power of the Phoenix. One of the women is the dominant who has the power of the Garuda. One of them Hugo is the Titan. So there's 3 so far we know. And yes, by the end of the trailer, it is sort of revealed that Clive, I don't know who, I forgot, I don't know how to pronounce his name, I'm sorry. He may possess the power of Ifrit. Or most likely, he has the power of Ifrit.
Awaken, child of fate. Awaken, Ifrit.
Yo, revealed. Awaken Ifrit. Okay, so for the last segment of this video, I want to actually cover something very important, which is how the game will be like. According to the screenshots in the official Final Fantasy XVI website, they showcase how it shows our main protagonist looking across the vast lands of in FF16. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I sort of got interrupted within as I was recording. With the screenshots shown in the current updated site of FF16, it showcases certain lands within FF16, and it seems that this game may be more vast than linear than what I've expected, because to be honest, since this game is mainly focused on much action, typically when developers focus on a lot of action in their games, they don't really focus on the, I guess, say, quote-unquote open world or within their settings. So normally many action games are linear. But it seems that there's going to be some sort of exploration happening within FF16. Now, I don't believe it'll be full-on open world because it wasn't even advertised as that. But if it actually is, it's going to be a huge surprise once it releases. But I really do think it's going to be more vast. I guess it'll be very open linear, and there'll be things to do within the world, side quests and such. I think it was mentioned by Yoshi P that there was going to be like main quests and side quests in FF16. So I'll be looking forward to, I mean, just traveling overall. I mean, the game looks absolutely gorgeous. I mean, the combat already just looks outstanding. So it seems that Yoshi P is really going all out for FF16. So I'm very excited to what's to come for this game. And that pretty much wraps up for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for all the support. I hope to see you guys in the future. Comment down below how you feel about the game so far, and also dropping a like is very much appreciated. And also, it'll help the video a lot. And I hope to see you guys in the future. Peace off, and there'll be more Final Fantasy content.